The argument is, Putanology has become a necessary enterprise for the world, reminiscent of McCarthyism. Jessen doesn't argue against Western rhetoric, but points out the incomplete story, that 100% right or 100% wrong doesn't exist. Jessen dissects the anti-Russia narrative, examines it under the magnifying glass and annihilates the hysteria, fear-mongering and manipulation that follows the Putanology territory. The importance of dissecting the Western media's true intentions will oust the paranoia of Western governments over foreign villains. Anti-Russia narratives and the fears over the Kremlin have actively sustained since the 1950s. Governments built up leaders to godlike positions, depicting them as ideological evils. Communism as diabolic with devil-like qualities. Lately, the same depiction of radical Muslims has leached into the mainstream propaganda. The necessity of this threat portrayed as violent, ominous and perhaps all-powerful supports the war on terror, although Al-Qaeda is in no way the role model for sainthood. Just like the Soviet communists beforehand, only one side of the story is consistently portrayed. The recent WikiLeaks leak Vault 7 is one example setting the anti-Russia propaganda in the correct context. Simply, the 2016 US elections were rigged and swayed by Russians, due to Russian hacking, and thus, Trump won the elections. Dare to open discussion that Clinton simply didn't win because she didn't win, and the assumption is thrown out as bogus. The Vault 7 leaks, however, demonstrate a U.S. government guilty of the very accusations propagated against Russia for interfering in a foreign nation's domestic federal elections. In this case, the U.S. government's CIA infiltrated and spied on the 2012 French elections to further their own political agenda and foreign policy, mirroring current accusations against the Russians. But this one has hard evidence to support it. Current media and government have failed to cover the WikiLeaks expose, with Julian Assange saying this information could change everything. The act of U.S. espionage against longtime ally France and its government extends to French companies and other policies. The leak should change everything, but undermining the anti-Russia rhetoric will occur as consequence, and has largely been ignored by mainstream media just as it would have at the height of McCarthyism. In the targeting of Trump, too many liberals have joined in fanning a neo-McCarthyite furor, working to discredit those who seek to de-escalate U.S.-Russian tensions, and dismissing anyone expressing doubts about the charges of hacking or collusion as a Putin apologist. The Nation's Katrina vanden Heuvel said last week, "What we don't need is a replay of Cold War hysteria that cuts off debate, slanders skeptics and undermines any effort to explore areas of agreement with Russia in our own national interest." Eventually, as Jessen points out, the theories put forward to support the anti-Russia agenda only defines our own nervous breakdown, telling as much about us Western society, as it does the media target of the decade. As Jessen points out, nothing is as it seems and everything is only partially true. Vladimir Putin is no angel, but nor are those in the White House, past or present. The theories put forward to debunk Russia as a valid power must be held against the looking glass of American exceptionalism. Nothing is as it seems. At no time in history have more people with less knowledge, and greater outrage, opined on the subject of Russia's president.